Welcome back to Hanger 51. So today we're going to do a foam repair on a wing that I have. This is for an FMS PT-18, the PT-18, the Cub. And there's two different repairs going on here, and we're going to cover both of those, and we're going to do them in separate steps. So in the if you see right here. Okay, if you look right here, you can see that this was a piece of foam that was ripped out of the plane when I hit I think it was the leg of a table, or no, I remember what happened here. This happened in my trailer. Somebody pulled out in front of me, and this got shoved forward into a piece of PVC pipe and crushed this really bad and tore it. So what I did was I tore it out of there completely. I steamed it back into shape and then epoxied it back into the wing. Now it's not smoothed out. It doesn't look good on the, it doesn't line up perfect, but it's back in the plane. So we're going to address cleaning that off and fixing it the rest of the way so that you'll never even see the repair. Now this piece here, where it's cut out, there was nothing wrong with that. I took a knife and cut that out. This we're going to actually use the Gorilla Glue, and we're going to reconstruct this with Gorilla Glue, and I'm going to show you how that works. So we're going to start with this. Let's so let me change cameras, and we'll get busy on how to fix this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a piece of tape here to contain the glue as it's expanding. We're going to use Gorilla Glue, this product here. Okay, and I buy the big bottles because I go through a lot of glue when I do a lot of repairs like this. It's cheaper to buy it this way, but if I'll be honest with you, if you're not going to use all of this, don't buy it, because you're just it'll dry up and you'll have to throw it away. So buy the smaller bottles. I'm kind of getting past doing that anymore. I'm going to use some just some tape. This is regular painter's tape. Doesn't matter what kind of tape you use. Be aware that if this doesn't have paint that I think I can pull off, it might pull the black off. So you might want to use the green, or the purple tape is the best. But since I'm going to be doing some repainting here anyway, I really don't care if it takes it off. But if you're worried about it taking it off, get the purple tape. The purple tape is a low tack, and it won't pull the paint off. 90% of the time it won't pull the paint off. It works fantastic. So if you're doing a repair, you need to tape it off, painting it or whatever, and you don't want the tape to pull the paint off the foam, use the purple paint tape. It's a 3M product. You can get it everywhere. It won't. Especially if you don't, just put it on gently. Don't dig it into the foam, and it'll release and won't pull the paint off. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this loose. Okay, but mostly I just want to contain the glue into this area, but I don't want to make it so tight that it won't expand past the end of the wing, because I want to be able to sand it and bring it down to that part of the wing. I don't want it so tight that it won't expand out. I want it to expand out. I want it to come out, and so that it'll I can cut it back and sand it. Okay, so there's one. You see how I've got a little bit of right here, so that there's room for it to expand. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to do the same thing here. Now I'm not going to try to I don't want it to follow the leading edge of the wing all the way. You know, a little bit is fine. I mean, the better you can get it, the better, the less work it is. But I don't want to get it too crazy because I want to be able to sand it down to the correct size. I don't want to have to do the multiple stages of the glue. So this should work out pretty good, just like that. And again, you don't have to get it, you know, let the foam. I'm trying to get the foam to expand over the edges so that I can trim it and sand it smooth. I'm not trying to cut it off. You can do it, but you're probably going to end up with indentations, and then you're going to have to add more putty or whatever to get it back up to where you want it. And I want to do it in one shot. So we're gonna leave this loose on purpose, okay? So that when I put the glue in here, it's going to expand out. And I'm going to put this on here like this so you can watch it expand out. Now, I'll put music to the video and you can sit there and watch it if you want, or you can just fast forward past the drying time of the glue and then see how it turned out. So, but I'll put some music in there to help you not be too bored. Listen, watching glue dry is like watching paint dry. Not exciting, but I just want you to see, if you want to watch it, what the glue is going to do. Okay? So we've got this pretty much ready to go. It's pretty easy to just put the little tape on there and just make sure it's loose enough to allow expansion so that we don't have to do it over. And I think I'm going to do this a little bit more here, a little more expansion. So you basically just want to get it where it humps up away from the plane, so you have all that room for expansion. And again, it's not critical. You know, if it way over expands, it's easy to, this sand's super easy. So you want it to go ahead and over expand. I just want to be able to contain the product to keep it in the area I want it to go in instead of it just going everywhere, because it might expand out the wrong way and not go where I want it to go. So I'm hoping I make enough glue and it's going to expand into there just the way I want it. Okay, so let's mix up some glue. Here's what I do. We'll put this aside for a minute. And we've got a little one of these little, what I call mixing bowls. These are basically what you get salad dressing in at any of the restaurants. And we're going to add some glue, Gorilla Glue, to it. And I need a toothpick to mix it with. Let me grab that real quick. Okay. Now we're going to just pour this in here, and I'm going to pour in, you know, a fair amount. You know, don't skimp on it, but it's going to expand a lot. When you mix Gorilla Glue with water, it really expands, just like that expansion foam you can buy. But it gets hard when it's done. The dark brown Gorilla Glue dries hard, even though it's going to expand way out into a big bubble. When it dries, it's hard, so you can cut it with a razor knife and sand it, and it works out really well. And then you're going to have to do a final fill with some wall spackle to fill in the little POC air bubbles, and but it'll come out beautiful, and you're going to see that. So let me go ahead and stick some glue in here. That should be more than enough. And you're just going to stir it until you see it start to tan. It's going to turn to like a tan color. And what that is it's already starting to make its expansion. It's starting to, you know, expand from the mixing of the water. And then we're going to pour off the excess water. You can't have too much water, so that's why I start with, you know, a good amount of water in here. I think I'm going to add a little more glue. I'm not sure that's enough. I'm sure it will be, but better safe than sorry. Let's put a little more glue in there. Okay, and we're just going to keep stirring it until you start to see it turn tan. And then you're going to pour off the excess water, and then we're going to pour it into the wing. So it takes a few minutes to sit here and stir it. It's not it's not a long project. It takes longer for it to dry. It's going to be a good 20-30 minutes of drying, I'd say. But it really does expand a lot when you stir it up like this. If you don't add water to it, it will, get air from it's going to get moisture out of the air, and it'll dry, but it won't expand as much. The more water you put in it, the more it expands. And I want this to stay light. See, this isn't going to be mostly glue. It's going to be mostly air. It's going to aerate quite a bit. So the final product will be very lightweight, but very hard. So it's easy to sand it, to smooth it out, and make it match the wing. And you're gonna. That's why I'm doing this live, because I want you to see it. I don't want you to see the end product and then, oh, this is how I did it, and then you don't know. I want you to see it. That's why it's not going to be real exciting when it's drying, guys. I'm sorry about that. Like I said, just fast forward through it if you don't want to watch it. But I don't want any trickery here, so I want you to know that that's how this worked. And so if you want to watch it dry, you can. But it's here. I'm not going to cut that out of the video. I want you to see it if you want to watch it, so that oh, I don't believe that. There's no way that worked. Okay, well, you're going to get to watch it work, so that there won't be any question whether it actually worked or not. So what happens is this starts to like glue up, well, I still don't think that's enough glue. I mean, I'm sure it is, but it seems like it might not be. Let me add a little more. Like I said, it's better to have too much than not enough. Oh, okay, and it's actually really starting to tan up here right now. So we're gonna give this a quick mix in with the other, and then we're gonna pour off the water and then pour it into the wing. Okay, so let's get rid of some of this water. Okay, so here's what we've got. Okay, and it's tanning up because it's starting to expand. So the trick now is to get it into the wing before it expands too much. Alright, so let's see if we can get that in there. Now I like to just get it down in there and mush it onto the foam. So it'll stick. For sure it's going to stick. Well, I don't know if I made enough. This might not be enough glue. I guess that hole was bigger than I thought. Not a big deal. We can do it in 2 steps. I'll just add another. After this dries, we'll just add another batch of it. It's not going to hurt anything. Just trying not to make it multi stages, trying to do it all in one. But this isn't. I don't think this is going to work. I think we're going to run out of glue. I got a feeling here. You're going to be amazed at how much this expands. That's why I'm doing it live, or I'm doing it in front of you. I want you to see how much it expands. Let me stand the wing up so I can just kind of scoop this right into the wing. Oh yeah, we got enough. This is going to work. So again, I'm trying to get full contact with the foam in there. So I'm pushing it down in there on purpose to make sure it's up against the foam all the way. I wanted to make sure it a little bit right there on my finger, it looks like. Let's grab that. This stuff's very sticky, so you really don't want to get it on your hands. I don't know if you've dealt with Gorilla Glue before, but this stuff is very, very sticky. Yeah, it's filling up quick. It's almost to the end of the wing already. All right, I think we're going to quit right there. All right, so here it's already getting pretty close there to the top of the wing, and we're just going to let it keep going. So I'm going to set this so that so the camera catches it. Try to stand it up here. Maybe if I put that there and put this here, and yeah, that should be pretty good. So we should be able to get a good look at that when it comes all the way off the top of the tape there. Yeah, you can see it expanding. It's just growing right inside that chamber right there. When you stir the glue with water, that's what it does. It really it expands like crazy. And the reason I do that, again, it'll dry and it expands without the water, but it doesn't expand as much. So the finished product here is going to be much lighter than if I had just used the glue as is. Because of the expansion, it's aerating. There's little air bubbles forming. So it's blowing it all out, and there's going to be little air bubbles. And that's what you're going to have to fill with the wall spackle at the end to fill in the little tiny air pockets. But so right now, it's above the blue tape. It's already foaming out over the top of the blue tape. Oh yeah, that's coming out real good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to let that run. If you want to keep watching this, keep watching. It's going to take about 20-30 minutes to dry, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to put a little music for your enjoyment, and then if you don't want to watch it, just fast forward through the front of it, because there's nothing here to see, guys. You're not gonna miss anything if you fast forward, because you're just watching glue dry. But there it is, and you can see how it's expanding. I mean, it's completely out above the blue tape now, and it's going to keep growing. So keep an eye on that, and